Hey guys, Mr. Dell here, looking to do a few more examples. In this case, I was asked to show you about the solving equations page. So, solving equations, in this case, these equations, which are what we call one-step equations. So, I'm going to look at a couple equations, but I think I'm going to look at 89. We'll start with that one. But I want to make sure we understand this whole concept of an equation, right? So, an equation really is just simply a balance. What we've got here is an equal sign, and what's true about an equation is whatever's on one side has to equal the other side, right? So they're equal sides, they're balanced. And if I look at this, I'm looking at a 38 is equal to 19J. So first of all, you got to be able to interpret, what does that mean, 19J? Well, if you've got a number and it's right next to a variable, J in this case is called my variable, right? So J is the variable. When there's a number and the number is my coefficient next to the variable, the operation is multiplication. So really what I'm saying is 38 is equal to 19 times something. So there's different ways to solve equations. One way is actually called a guess and check table. And how that works is you would actually guess a number for J and then plug in. So I'm going to guess something for J. And then I'm going to put my equation over here. I'm going to put it into the equation and see if it's true. So for example, if I guessed that J was equal to 1, I would put in and say, well, 38 equals 19 times 1. Is that true? Does 38 equal 19 times 1? Well, 19 times 1 is 19. Does 38 equal 19? It does not. So 1 is not the answer. So then I'd go on and check something else, right? I could, well, let's see if, you could go on and what about 2? So let's check 2. So 38 equals 19 times 2. Is that true? Does 38 equal 19 times 2? Well, 19 times 2, it's 38. So the equation checks out. So that's how I got my answer. So 2 is the answer. So J, in this case, we could say J is equal to 2. Now, that's one way of doing it, a guess and check. The other way would be to actually look at the equation and use opposite operations. So it's like a scale, remember, a balance. What you do to one side, you do to the other. I want my J. The goal is to get J all alone. I want to isolate J so it's just 1J. So that's 1J. That's my goal, 1J. So to get 1J, I've got to do the opposite operation with this 19. 19 times J, so what I would do is divide by 19 both sides. Because what you do to one side, you do to the other. That's the whole thing of a balanced equation and keeping things balanced. And so the 19s here, they cancel out, right? And I'm just left with the J, 1J. And 38 divided by 19 is 2. So either way, I got my answer of 2 is equal to J. J is equal to 2. Okay, either method. So that's one. Let's look at another one. Another one I would look at would be 92. Number 92 is x divided by 12 equals 9. So again, same thing. I'm looking for what? I'm looking for some variable, some x, some number in place of x that makes this equation true. I could do a guess and check table again, or I can look at how to do it by eliminating numbers in the equation. So the operation, my goal is to get x all alone. That's my goal. I want 1x. So right now, x is divided by 12. So what's the opposite operation that's going to get rid of the divided by? Well, let me rewrite this. It might help you to see it. X divided by 12, can I rewrite it to say x over 12 is equal to 9? That's the same thing, isn't it? If I look at this x divided by 12, it can be written as a fraction as x over 12. And that might be easier to see that the operation that's going to get rid of this is multiplication. Because if I multiply by 12 and I'm multiplying a fraction here, 12 over 1, 12 times x over 12, what happens? Those 12s cancel out, right? Become 1. So I end up with 1x. So what I did to one side, I have to do to the other. So 9 times 12 is 108. And there's my answer. And I could always check it, right? I can take my 108, put it back into, so I would always check my answer, make sure I'm good. So I would say, is it true? Is 108 divided by 12, does that equal 9? You know, you can get out your calculator and double check it, because at this point, using your calculator is fine to double check things. 108 divided by 12, sure enough, does equal 9. And so it does check out. All right, guys. Thanks.